What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is January 2nd, 2019. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a safe celebration. I have my haul here of 26 with 22 different titles. I have thrown up my Midtown order on the left-hand side as well. I have read through the stack, starting off on the DC side of things. Heroes in Crisis, number 4. Really enjoy this title. Number 1 was a little bit slow for me, but man, number 2 on, man, killed it. So the storytelling by Tom King, overall, this is like a whodunit type of situation. A lot of the superheroes got killed off in Sanctuary. You know, it's between Booster Gold and Harley Quinn. And it's pretty funny how Flash thinks it's Booster and, you know, Batman for sure thinks it's Harley, and, you know, they just really can't come to an agreement. But the way the storytelling is really unfolding, really enjoy it. The artwork, I think his name is, it's Art Man, I believe, Clay Man. I'm not too familiar with this artist, but man, I really enjoy the artwork. Loved how he drew Lois, man. Great drawing of Lois here. I think a little bit later on, you also see, yeah, here we go, the next page, Batgirl, man. Drawn exquisitely, in my opinion. So yeah, man, check out the storyline. Love the artwork. A really good whodunit so far. You know, I'm sure this is all going to be reversed somehow because the heroes that died are, you know, really important heroes. So I'm sure that they're not going to stay dead. But man, great storyline so far. Heroes in Crisis. Picked up Batgirl number 30. This is just a cover grab for me. Middleton. And so Middleton, I enjoy maybe about 7 out of 10 cover arts that he does, man. But man, I really enjoyed this one. So yeah, Batgirl number 30. The Flash. This is number 61. Man, really enjoy The Flash. As you know, if y'all have seen my previous videos, man, really love this title. The Flash has become one of my all-time favorites. So overall, he's on this this quest to try to understand the Sage and the Strength Force. He's trying to get a little bit more of the Speed Force, a little bit more understanding of it, even though he feels he knows it pretty well. But he's really trying to understand all the other forces out there. So he ran into this new character. I think her first appearance was maybe 2 issues ago now. I think number 59, Powerhouse. I think what her name was. But yeah, pretty good Sage Force battle that they have here. Them working pretty well together, Speed Force and the Strength Force. So yeah, enjoyed overall. Really like the storyline as well as the artwork. So yeah, check it out. The Flash number 61. One of these mashups here, Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. Of course, you know, I love both of them. This one concludes this at number 6, and this is one where the cover art kind of gives away the storyline. You know, I don't really like when they do that, you know, but yeah, nonetheless, you know, great cover art to go along with it. But yeah, if you enjoyed both the storyline of the video game, and if you enjoyed or grew up with He-Man, man, you will love this. Great artwork to go along with it. Man, so this one really concludes that they had a massive battle in that last issue. This one kind of finishes off the battle, and you see what happens with He-Man versus Superman. Man, it's a pretty good battle. So yeah, really enjoy the storyline overall. I think I'm going to pick it up and trade as well to read it through one more time. So yeah, Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. Conan the Barbarian. So grew up, you know, kind of watching Conan from time to time. You know, he had a TV show that was out there. I think I was maybe like in junior high when they came out. Really enjoyed that one. So picked up both the cover A, and I think this is like cover like E or D, I think. But Asad Rivik did this one as well. So yeah, really enjoy this one cover. It's not an incentive grab, but to enjoy the cover nonetheless. So overall storyline, they're starting to fold Conan into Marvel continuity. You know, he existed like in this other like barbaric world, this other realm that had no bearing on Earth 616, but now they're about to fold him in. I think they're showing him in Avengers here pretty soon. So yeah, pretty cool storyline overall. I thought the artwork maybe a 3.75, you know, maybe, you know, teetering on a 4 out of 5 in my opinion. Storyline was very, very decent. You know, I, again, grew up with a lot of Conan. I grew up, you know, reading a lot of Conan. A lot of heavy metal type of fantasy storylines that I've really enjoyed because of Conan. So yeah, I think they did this reboot, man, really justice overall, you know, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're a Conan fan, I do not think you will be disappointed with this. Conan the Barbarian number 1. Wolverine the Long Night #1. So as y'all may know, Wolverine by far was my most favorite superhero ever. You know, I started out with the X-Men and Wolverine was my guy, man. When they killed him off, that's what kind of got me to come back into comics back in 2016. So overall, man, the storyline, very cool, man. I'm happy they brought back Logan. So if I understand this one correctly, this was like a podcast. They took a podcast, it was, you know, extremely popular. I've never heard of this, but they took the podcast and they made it into a comic. The storyline so far, man, very intriguing. So this happens in Alaska. They start interviewing, there's two federal agents who start to interview a fisherman who starts to recall this new traveler who got on board, and his name was Logan. They find a boat who had a couple or quite a few, you know, humans murdered on the boat. Clearly someone like Wolverine, you know, cut their faces open. So this is kind of like a little mystery for these two federal agents to figure out like what happened. You see Wolverine later on, you really don't know why he killed, you know, the people on the boat. Drugs were mentioned. So this may be like a drug deal type deal that Logan got involved with, trying to stop it. But man, very intriguing storyline. Love Wolverine, man. This storyline seems to be very, very good. You know, overall the storyline, I give it like a 4.5 so far, man. I really enjoy this. So definitely sub to this one. If you are a Wolverine fan, I highly suggest for you go pick this one up. If you are reading Return of Wolverine and you are not satisfied with it, check this one out. Star Wars Han Solo. I just saw Han Solo again one more time this past weekend with my nephew. Man, I really enjoyed it more the second viewing on Blu-ray at my house versus the initial viewing at the movie theater. I don't know what it was, but I was honestly a little bit disappointed when I saw it in the movie theater. But man, I really enjoyed the second viewing. So when they went over the Space Academy portion of it, you know, they completely fast forwarded. Apparently there was a deleted scene, which I did not watch, but there's a one deleted scene while he's in the academy here. So man, this is pretty cool to where, you know, this storyline is completely canon. This all happened like in the movie that we just didn't see. So man, I thought that was pretty cool, and the storyline go along with it was great. You know, just watching the movie here recently, man, this character really portrayed it, you know, pretty well in my opinion. You know, portrayed Han pretty well. So yeah, Imperial Cadet #3. One more Star Wars. I was able to pick up the incentive photo variant. I think this is listed for about $10 on Midtown, but both my LCSs, they both allow us to pick these up for cover price. So happy to pick this one up. Obi-Wan was, you know, my most favorite Jedi that was out there. You know, he really beat all the other, you know, Yoda, everyone else, you know, Mace Windu. Man, Obi-Wan was my guy, dude. I really thought he was a badass, you know, in episode #4. When Ewan McGregor, you know, played him, I thought he did a phenomenal job, man. Really enjoyed it. You know, he carried him out later on in the Clone Wars animated series. He was a complete badass there. And then, you know, he came back in Rebels and actually killed Darth Maul at the very end. So yeah, man, I loved Obi-Wan. So this is just a one-shot. And overall, man, you have Obi-Wan, who is highly doubting if he's able to actually mentor Anakin. So at this point in time, Anakin's about a teenager, and you know, he's making some good strides here and there, but he's running into difficulty from time to time, and he doesn't really feel he's going to be able to completely mentor Anakin the way that Qui-Gon mentored Obi-Wan. So yeah, pretty cool storyline. You know, you see them coming to, you know, they see eye to eye here at the very end of this one issue. Man, pretty, not tear-jerking, but man, the relationship between the two, you really start to see it grow here, you know, from this point forward. So yeah, pretty impactful. If you are either Anakin or Obi-Wan fan, highly suggest for y'all to go pick up this one-off storyline. So yeah, this one-shot storyline, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Infinity Wars Infinity. So this one kind of wrapped up the Infinity Wars. It finished off. I felt overall the storyline was decent. It started off pretty strong. It could have gone different ways. I felt the very end was kind of, they wrapped it up kind of rushed. You know, I felt the very end could have been better. So I was a little bit disappointed, but it was a pretty decent storyline overall. You know, for those of y'all who read it, you know, please let me know what your thoughts on it. This one, you don't have to read this one. It kind of continues on where the storyline left off. You have a new character here, and I think I did see this character in the Key Collector app as well. But this person gets the, what does he get? He gets the time stone, and he's able to start pausing time. He's right about to be executed, but apparently he was, you know, he said he did not kill these people that that he was, you know, wrongfully imprisoned for. So yeah, pretty cool storyline how they start dividing up the stones and moving forward. And at the very end, you see the storyline. I won't, you know, give away everything, but storyline then continues in Infinity Watch. And those of y'all who read through Thor may have seen this old man Phoenix here. So they brought him back. I think that was like Thor number 5 and 6, if I recall that one correctly. So yeah, Infinity Wars Prime, you know, not required, but if you enjoyed the storyline, I would say pick this one up. Picked up the connecting cover for Marvel Knights. So overall, you know, I felt the past couple issues were pretty decent. You know, I really don't follow these characters. You know, these are not my true characters that, you know, I really followed. You know, I do a lot of mutants, you know, a lot of champions, a lot of Avengers, but, you know, Daredevil, Punisher, Elektra, and I love the Hulk. But really the only one I follow. But these other characters I didn't really follow too much. I read Marvel Knights when I was younger, but man, didn't really enjoy it too much even back then. Wasn't too much of a fan. So far, this is what, issue number 5, I think? Or I think it's issue number 4. So far, it's been pretty decent. You know, when you start talking about Doom and Kingpin, you know, I don't follow them too much, but man, this battle that they have, and I won't show you the battle, but man, I was unaware that Kingpin, like, I guess had any powers. You know, I thought he was just like a big guy. I don't know, man, this didn't really, I'm not going to show you beyond this here, but man, this battle didn't really make sense to me, you know, personally. I don't really follow them too well, but man, this did not make too much sense. So this one issue kind of started losing me on the Marvel Knights side of things, you know, personally. But I don't know if y'all are reading it. Tell me what y'all think. Reboot Champions number 1. Picked up just one more copy of Cover A. Could not find any incentives today for this one. So Champions, I love Champions. You know, I compare Teen Titans to the Champions quite often, but each one, you know, in their own right, you know, carry its own weight. But this one here, you know, so they start a brand new team. So this one kind of a little bit speculation for a brand new team, and they also introduce this new character called Pinpoint. So he's an Indian boy who's able to teleport. I personally have never been introduced to this Locust nor Bombshell. So I thought that these characters were new as well, but apparently they were introduced in some other titles. So new to me. But overall, you have Kamala Khan, who is now the leader of the overall champions, and she has like multiple teams, similar to like X-Men Blue Gold teams, and they basically divide and conquer the various issues that are affecting the world. And they're tackling like huge, you know, nationwide type of crisis issues. So very awesome. So you have, of course, team dynamics. You have the original team of champions who kind of grew into the larger team now. Kamala Khan trying to be a leader, and it's pretty cool. This entire issue, you see what her thoughts are as far as, you know, if she feels that she's leading correctly, what she should be doing, you know, to be a better leader. You know, is she a good leader so far? So very cool. I really enjoy the like the character study that they're doing with her, as well as the team dynamics with Miles. There's something kind of going on with Miles. I won't show you the very end, but that's going to be continuing the storyline going forward, but he's having a difficulty. So yeah, Champions number 1, a new reboot. I thought they did a pretty good job. I wish they would have gone to a new number 1. I wish they would have continued the numbering, but man, pretty good storyline nonetheless. So yeah, I'm going to continue on. Uncanny XMen. So as y'all may know, I got into all of the X titles starting last year when they started rebooting a lot of the X-Men titles. So loved them all. Really enjoy this Uncanny XMen. The number 1 kind of started off slow for me, but man, beyond that, man, loved it. So yeah, this kind of starts talking about various parallel universes that X-Men started. They brought back the Age of Apocalypse. For those of y'all who read back in the 90s, that was another storyline. They kind of like brought it all back to back full circle here. So yeah, very good artwork to go along with the good action and the dialogue that, you know, very traditional. You know, who is writing this, by the way? Let's see. Man, Rosenberg and Brisson, that's right. So it was multiple writers on here, but man, I felt that they really know the characters, you know, from the X-Men that I grew up with. Man, great job so far. So yeah, check these out. You know, if you are an X-Men fan and have been shying away from this one, I'm sure they're going to turn this one to a trade very quickly because it's week to week. So yeah, check that out there. But man, I have really been enjoying this title so far. Uncanny X-Men number 8. Moving on to Image, just a few of those. Redneck. So, you know, again, I love vampires, and this was a good modern take of vampires. You know, since vampires are live for hundreds of years, they're able to do multiple storylines of them going back in history, and so you can see some of these characters, how they developed. So last time you had a wedding, you know, between some of the main characters here, and this one issue, man, I will not give away anything at the end, but man, this one, total twist, blew me away. You know, similar to the Red Wedding, you know, I guess you could say in Game of Thrones. But man, totally took me out, you know, by surprise. Love, of course, this is by Donny Cates, but man, love the storyline overall. So yeah, if y'all have not checked this one out, if y'all like Donny Cates, definitely check out Redneck. So yeah, Redneck number 18. Crowded number 6. So love this one. So this was optioned for either a TV show or a movie. I think this was a TV show is what I recall. But of course you have someone in society who a lot of people hate. So they started this big GoFundMe to go put a hit out, a contract to go murder this one person. She hires a bodyguard. So this entire, you know, tale is of her getting protected by the bodyguard and what they have to do to survive. So a lot of players getting involved, a lot of social media type of media horrors, you know, so to speak. Hilarious action, hilarious comedy with action to go along with it. So yeah, if you have not checked this one out, I definitely suggest, I think the trade came out, I think last week. So yeah, Crowded number 6. One more from Image, we have Errand Boys. So this one, a little bit of space cosmic humor in here. So you have a person like Han Solo. Han Solo finds out that his father at one point in time had like an affair with someone else, and he has a baby brother who is half alien. And these are kind of the stories and adventures they kind of get into. The last one, they were caught, and the older brother has to go to prison. And I guess on this world, they agreed to do like a mind cleansing type of mind swipe to reprogram the person. So pretty cool. You get a little bit of a background. He's kind of getting reprogrammed to, I guess, relive into society. But yeah, pretty cool. Enjoy this one. So yeah, Errand Boys. Picked up one from Antarctic Press. So this Rags, this is the second print of number 2. So pick this one up. I think I have one more coming in from Midtown. So this one's definitely hot. I'm sure this will be like $10 by tomorrow on eBay. So picked one up, stuck it in Mylar. Picked up one from Boom Studios, The Empty Man. So very cool storyline, and apparently this was a second storyline. There was another storyline that came out before The Empty Man, which I want to go pick up and read. But overall, this is like a virus that infects you, that wants you to either commit suicide or you go kill other people. And, you know, this virus is kind of linked to some sort of like demonic type of virus. So very cool stuff. You have one of the main families that they're kind of following along. The mother gets infected, and you have various parties from the government to other private parties trying to get access to her since she was just infected, to, I guess, you know, study her. They don't really tell you their motives. But yeah, enjoy the storyline overall. A lot of action, a lot of gore kind of going on. You really don't know what, you know, a lot of twist. So yeah, The Empty Man number 3, really love the storyline so far. Picked up Halo Lone Wolf. So picked up just one more cover A just because I saw it sold out, and I'm really surprised it sold out. So I love Halo. You know, I grew up playing Xbox. I played every single Halo game that was out there, man. I love first-person shooters. Halo was my #1 game, you know, by far. I loved Halo Reach. I think Reach was my most favorite Halo game out of all the Halos that came out. Linda and Kelly, the 2 female Spartans, you know, that actually were in the same group as Master Chief. Man, very cool storylines. You know, I loved when they were in the video games. They were some of my favorite characters. So this one follows Linda. So Linda goes off on a solo mission, and she has an AI. The AI hasn't talked too much, but apparently he's like a French, like in the 60s, I'm sorry, like the 1800s, like a French sailor type explorer is the AI that she got, you know, in comparison to Cortana, which Master Chief got. So yeah, weird stuff on the AI side, but again, the AI hasn't talked too much. So I'm willing to, or I'm looking forward to see what the AI brings to the table. But yeah, Halo Lone Wolf, all about Linda. So yeah, check it out, number 1. Picked up a couple from Dark Horse, Stranger Things. This finishes off. This is number 4 of 4. And this is all about Will Byers when he goes into the underworld. Some of the things you see in season 1, you're able to see some of the things he went through, but this kind of shows you the other, you know, the other times and what else was going through his head, even though we got to see what he was doing, you know, on screen. So yeah, really enjoyed the storyline overall. You know, I think season 1 was better than season 2 overall, and they just released that season 3 was coming out, I think like July 7th, I think is when that one's going to be airing. So yeah, really looking forward to season 3, even though I felt season 1 was better than season 2. So yeah, Stranger Things number 4. Sword Daughter. So really enjoy this one from number 1 on. So overall, you have a, this is back in the, I think this is like the 600s, I think was the time. But back when the Vikings were came in, did like the little blitzkrieg type of maneuver, and they would come in, just kind of slaughter entire villages and plunder. So the little girl and her father were the only survivors left of the village, and they kind of explain why the people who came in to do that, why they did that, so they could kind of live on with this and, you know, tell other people. So you also get a little bit more of the little girl who's going through some more training from this other older lady who is like another tribes, like this, like Buddhists who are all female and apparently, you know, great swordsmen. So yeah, pretty cool. A little bit more insight into that little tribes and a little bit more training with the little girl. You get to see her as an older girl as well. So yeah, really enjoy this, Sword Daughter. Whispering Dark. So this is one of those weird, you know, horror type of storylines. You don't really know truly what is going on still, you know, even at this point in time. This one gives you just a little bit more insight, but demonic type of things, like hell portal type of storyline kind of going on to this small U.S. Army task force who went into, I think they're like in Afghanistan, if I recall that storyline correctly. But yeah, a lot of strange things going on. The storyline hasn't totally unfolded, but yeah, a lot of demonic things going on. So yeah, enjoy a lot of the horror. This one fits it. Whispering Dark. One more on the horror side of things. So this is John Carpenter's Tales of Fiction. This is a second storyline they put out so far, I think, which is called Twitch. This is number 1 of 5. Pretty cool concept so far. So what you have, it starts off with some sort of like radio transmission coming in from outer space to Earth. And this transmission, for some reason, is kind of screwing up with humans' minds. It's affecting some humans, not all. And the ones that are affected are going out, they're murdering people. They haven't totally, you know, explained what this guy did, but apparently he did something horrific to multiple people at a mall, I think is where he was. But you find out this guy also starts getting powers, because he starts getting telekinesis type of powers. You know, this guy gets put down, but you find out this is not the only guy. There's multiple humans and something is going on. You find out that there's some sort of a lab experiment that sent out a transmission, and we're getting transmissions back. So this is some sort of alien transmission that is, you know, having mind control effects on humans. So pretty good storyline so far. I think I'm going to continue with that number 2, so we'll see where it goes. But yeah, Tales of Science Fiction. This is Twitch, number 1 of 5. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Great to start off a brand new year. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.